Hello everyone, this is Give Anxiety, bringing you guys another Age of Empires 3 video, and this is a best of 3 in the GUA October 2019 subscriber tournament. This is going to be the round of 16. We have LordRaphael versus Pérez, and this is a best of 3. We're going to get right into this. Game 1's going to be played on parallel rivers, and I'm going to spin that wheel and let's see what civilization LordRaphael gets in Game 1 here. Alright, let's see. Alright, and LordRaphael gets Japan in Game 1. And let's go ahead and spin that wheel for Pérez, see what civilization he gets in Game 1 here. Alright, Pérez getting Dutch. Alright, so we're going to have Dutch versus Japan on parallel rivers. Just giving the players a minute here to think of their build, think of their strategy, and we'll be hopping into Game 1 here in just a second. Pérez taking a second to make sure his deck is right, and while he does that, I'm actually going to look up his ELO, and I'm not too familiar with him. I know he is a talented player, but not super familiar with his civ pool, so taking a quick look here, and it looks like actually his last game that he played, he was Dutch. Looks like he plays quite a bit of civs, and yeah, he plays Dutch fairly often. It looks like he has a pretty wide civ pool, and Dutch is one of his civs, so he won't be feeling too out of his element here. And LordRaphael playing as Japan, and he's played many games as Japan. LordRaphael, very large civ pool, very talented player, so he'll probably be feeling pretty good here himself. Alright, and we are getting into Game 1 here. This is the round of 16, best of 3, LordRaphael versus Pérez. Game 1, parallel rivers. LordRaphael is playing as Japan, and Pérez is playing as the Dutch. You guys should know LordRaphael. He is one of the best players in the world at AoE 3. In the previous LAN tournament, the New World Championship, he qualified. Top 8 players in the world qualified to compete at the LAN events, and he was one of them. He was the #1 seed going into it. And he did really good. He ended up actually losing in the finals to Daroga in a close series. So LordRaphael, clearly one of the best players in the world. And Pérez, very good player himself. Not quite as high as LordRaphael, but Pérez, he took some time off from AoE theater, and I think fairly recently he kind of came back, started playing again. So nice to see him back. Excited to see him playing quite a bit. Alright, so he's playing as Dutch here, and this is Parallel River, so this is a no TP map here. And let's see what these players are going for. So Pérez finding a 90 wood right off the bat here, very nice. He's going to be able to crack shoot one lion and then just finish off the line. Oh, is this envoy going to die here though? Because the envoy, unfortunately got attacked. Oh my god. And that is actually really unfortunate. The envoy does go down. That's rough for Pérez. On this map, there are lots of goats, so it definitely helps having 2 scouts to be able to collect those goats. So definitely a bit unfortunate there that the lion attacked the envoy and ended up killing the envoy there. But Pérez does pick up 90 wood, which is a very nice treasure. LordRaphael working on his first shrine right now, and using his other explorer to pick up 35 wood. And just using the berries that you start with here on the map. He's scouting with his cherry or rickshaw. Pérez now collecting them goats. Does have three goats right here, but LordRaphael's Explorer is pretty close to them. Both players going for the goats here. Sorry guys, my voice is a bit dead, so I maybe may not be sounding the best, but you know I'm gonna do what I can here with casting. 90 XP treasure. LordRaphael now working on his second shrine, and he's got lots of goats here, and he's gonna use these goats and just use the goats to put onto the shrine. Interesting. Could have maybe saved them and brought them back home and just do it on this hunt. Kind of wondering what the logic is there. Three more goats being escorted here by LordRaphael. Finding another 25 wood treasure over there. Pérez now pulled off all of his villagers off the goat, so he's now just gathering food, ready to age up soon. And Pérez does find this 90 XP treasure, so we'll have to see if he goes for his 90 XP. There he goes, sharpshoots one of them, and he's going to be going for that 90 XP, 65 food right here for LordRaphael. And Pérez is now on his way to H2. LordRaphael will be a little bit behind him here. Ooh, LordRaphael actually shipping 300 wood as his first shipment. And very interesting. So not going with the typical Carney Ma shipment. Going with 300 wood. So we'll have to see what build comes out of LordRaphael here. So now LordRaphael is aging. Gathering that 300 wood, putting a couple villagers on the wood there himself, using one villager to build the wonder. And we'll have to see what Pérez's plan is here. Yeah, this is a lot of goats here for LordRaphael. And like I said, part of this was because Pérez lost his envoy basically at the start of the game, very unfortunately. So LordRaphael winning the goat game pretty comfortably there. And yeah, so he's going to have lots of goats to be able to put on some really safe shrines when it comes time to. LordRaphael now up to 50 shrine population. No consulate, no market, and there we go. Consulate does get dropped down. Meanwhile, Pérez is dropping his first bank. He did not get that 90 XP treasure, not quite yet. Oh, he actually left and went for scouting after sharpshooting the one. Pérez is now in H2, aged up with the 400 wood politician. We'll have to see how greedy he is planning on going with banks here. And LordRaphael, let's see, is he going to want to try to put on some aggression versus Dutch? You don't want Dutch to get away with it with a really heavy bank boom. But at the same time, Japan, they can have a very strong shrine boom. However, LordRaphael didn't ship Carney Ma, so he probably won't be booming too heavily this game. I think he may have a more aggressive mindset going into this one. And a second bank going down for Pérez. Looks like LordRaphael does have eyes on that. $700 wood is shipped for Pérez. And we have a stable start coming out of LordRaphael. So very unique for Japan. I mean, Japan does have some pretty good cavalry, but it's not typical to see really a stable start with Japan. I kind of wonder why. I think it just became so normal to make like Ashy and Yumi, especially maybe since like on RE, their barracks units used to be a lot stronger, and they're always considered, you know, the kind of normal rack civ. But it's kind of strange that like a stable opening isn't more standard with Japan, and I guess it probably is because of like how they used to be on RE. That everybody at that point, it was better to build the barracks, you know, make the super strong Yumi and the Ashy, and really strong Ashies. But now, I don't know, who knows? I think it might be shifting now because those units did get some nerfs on the EP's patch since RE. But anyways, here are some clubs moving in, sieging down the first bank, and a bank wagon is shipped for Pérez here. So Pérez just using his TC fire and his scout to try to take down these clubs here, and doing a pretty good job with the TC micro on the Explorer there. trying to optimize every shot, forcing LordRaphael back off there. And we do have 5 Nagy riders moving in for LordRaphael. Villagers are going into TC. Pérez keeping a close eye on this. Doesn't want to lose any villagers. Wow, I really do have like no voice. He does have his stable up himself. Explorer does go down. Ooh, and 1 villager does go down there, unfortunately. Pérez is idling his entire eco right here. Should perhaps pop out some villagers to at least have some villagers gathering. But there's the 5 Hussar pop, going to scare LordRaphael back. But of course, the nice thing with Dutch, even if you have all your villagers in town center, your banks are still gathering gold. Some more Nagys are coming, and LordRaphael is going to take the fight since he has some reinforcements here, catching Pérez's Hussars. Pérez still has the access to Minimen, so we could potentially see a Minimen call. LordRaphael is going straight in here, not afraid of the Minimen. There's the Minimen call. So let's see how many. But all the 1 more Hussar. Last Hussar is down. And LordRaphael is just going to get out of here now. Ooh, TC Fire does hit the one really weak Nagy rider. And Pérez is house now. Does ship 700 food. LordRaphael shipping 5 muskets here. LordRaphael is now up to 100 shrine population. Building another shrine there, and looks like he's going for basically the Muscus equivalent for Japan here. Want to try to keep these Minimen safe, let them get as many shots off as they can, and there's 5 Hus coming for Pérez here. So I don't know about this strategy. I mean, Muscus versus like Hus and Skirm doesn't seem like the best option. We'll have to see if LordRaphael starts mixing in some Yumis or some other units in this composition, or if he's just going to keep going Nagy and Ashy really heavy. But Pérez is at 40 population right now. He's throwing down a 4th bank here. Struggling to get kind of every unit out, but just with 5 Hussars and some 1 HP Minimen on the map right now. And he will start running out of hunt pretty soon here. Looks like a bit of a lag spike here. Hopefully it will go away. Alright, bit of a lag spike there, but looks like we're back into it. And we do now have a market down for LordRaphael, so let's take a look at the market. Text completed. Looks like a little bit of lag. I'm just going to pause it, let the lag spike pass. So LordRaphael, a couple market upgrades here. Pérez with no market himself. Now let them sort out. Now pause it. They both said okay, go. So I think they're all set there. 700 coin coming in for Pérez, and 5 Ashes being shipped for LordRaphael. So it looks like LordRaphael is going to go for a timing push here, and he's getting ready to move in. And yeah, here he goes. Nagys are moving on in. Ashes moving. A couple more clubs coming. And what does Pérez have here? He does have a 5 Hussars. Ooh, 1 villager going down there. Is Pérez going to pop out any more units here? And actually, Pérez is macroing for an age up, so very unfortunate. This is not what Pérez wants. And Pérez does click up to the next age, but he's going to lose his entire army here. He does not have like a trading post, so his shipments won't be coming very quickly. He doesn't even have a shipment in the bank either, and he's going to be up to age 3 pretty soon here. Probably would have been better for him to just play this out in age 2. So Pérez looking like he's in a little bit of a scary position here. He will get up to age 3 here in a couple more seconds, but still doesn't have a shipment, and this is going to be his last military building, so I think LordRaphael is looking pretty good here. Shipment is now available, so LordRaphael does hit Pérez does hit age 3. and the shipment is available, so he does have a shipment on the way. He still has a lot of gold stacked right now. Or he does have a market. He needs to really get a military building down. Now sending a couple villagers out to try to do some punching. But he's got resources in his bank, but unfortunately he doesn't have a military building, and he doesn't have any villagers like out on the map sneaking, getting a military building built at all. So the shipment will come, and I assume it's going to be Reuters. Just a couple Yumi crossing the map here for LordRaphael, but Pérez idling his entire eco, and there it is, 9 Reuters. LordRaphael forced to ship 2 cherry orchards. Pérez, quite a bit of resources in the bank, over 1,000 gold, but no military building, so it was unfortunate he had to put every single villager into the town center there. Reuters are going to get some good hits on the Nagys here, killing 1, but Pérez idling he got a couple villagers out gathering food. But very far away from the shipment, like I said, no trading post, so this H3 won't be anywhere near as strong as it could have been if he was on a trading post map, with a trading post. But how it stands right now is he's got lots of resources in the bank, but just absolutely no way to spend them. At this point, you should probably just fight with your explorer and, I don't know, buy him back right away. I don't know. He just needs to get a military building up. Now building a market. He just needed to sneak some villagers in the corner and build a military building. Yeah, he could have been in a really good position potentially if he. It's unfortunate. He could have been in a really good position. Imagine if he had a stable built like in the corner, like a hidden stable, and he popped out with 5 Reuters. He could have been looking really good, but unfortunately, idling his entire economy, putting every single villager in TC. And as you guys know, town center maxes out damage-wise when there's 10 villagers into the town center. So you don't want to put more than 10 villagers in TC. You ideally want to sneak some villagers off and gather resources in a hidden location. But LordRaphael actually backing off here. And it looks like LordRaphael is actually deciding to age. So hard to say if that's a good decision. It will give Pérez very valuable time, as he was just housed by like 2 houses. He was underpopulated. Had every single villager in the town center, but LordRaphael kind of thankfully backs off for him. And as all that time was going, Pérez had a really large bank, just 0 way to spend the resources. But by LordRaphael backing off and aging, this is going to allow Pérez to now get these houses up, have his villagers start gathering resources, and then Pérez will be able to use that really large bank that he did have, that he just wasn't using at all. So I think Pérez is going to be really happy that LordRaphael did back off here, and is giving him a chance here. And it looks like Pérez is struggling for wood a little bit. He does have a market now, though, so he could buy some wood, get up a couple more houses, and yeah, lots of food, almost 600 food, 1,200 gold. It looks like he has a shipment on the way. And LordRaphael is just now starting to advance to H3. And it's not like the Japan eco is going to be very strong behind this, because remember, LordRaphael does not have Carney Masen. He's shipped 300 wood as his first shipment. He does now have Daimyo, but this Dutch army is going to start becoming pretty strong here. So Yumi's are getting some good hits on the Reuters here, though. Nagys, ooh, imagine if these Nagys get caught. Looks like Nagys are looking for villagers. But LordRaphael has to be very careful with them, as there are lots of Reuters on the map. And that is an 8 skirmisher shipment for Pérez. Now throwing down more houses. And these Nagys are in a very dangerous location. But at the same time, there's not really a reason for Pérez to send his military over here. So there's really no way of Pérez knowing that there would be random Nagys over there. But depending on how this goes, these Nagys could get caught, or they could find villagers. Pérez is now starting to get through that large bank that he accumulated, now making hussars, and looks like Pérez actually wants to push in, as LordRaphael does now just hit H3, does get the Yumi from aging, and that is quite a bit of Yumis. Getting some good hits on the skirmishers there. And now the Nagys are in a good position to potentially raid as Pérez is attempting to push in. Nagy's just keeping an eye on this side of the map. However, Pérez decided to go ahead this way, gather from this gold mine, start gathering from this hunt here. And we do have upgraded hussars. We have veteran hussars on the map here. LordRaphael with another pause, not too sure what's the issue. Maybe he's, I don't know what he's doing. Maybe he's doing things while playing or something, or I don't know if it's a technical issue. Another barracks going down for LordRaphael, so he's going to have 2 barracks and a stable built here. Does have the Golden Pavilion wonder. He's at 190 shrine population. Another batch of skirmishers join Pérez's army here. And yeah, these Nagys will be key. If Pérez can, find these with the Reuters, that would be a huge, huge cleanup. But at the same time, if Pérez pushes in and then LordRaphael sends these Nagys in to go raid, LordRaphael could get a very nice raid. And here we go. 2 villagers are moving out. So it looks like the 2 villagers are going to find the Nagys, or Nagys will find the 2 villagers. But at the same time, Pérez is moving on out. So, Yumi is far and away. Skirmishers. There are a lot of veteran hussars right here, actually, however. And the Nagys are right here. Pérez does see the shrine, so he may go back, try to kill that shrine. Looks like skirmishers are firing at the Nagys, and looks like Pérez may want to push this. He does have quite a bit of veteran huss. Daimyo getting caught out really poorly from LordRaphael. LordRaphael doing a very nice pull trick, though, to save the Nagy. Did lose a lot of HP there, though. And there's not too much anti-cav here for LordRaphael. Hussar's trying to get in there. LordRaphael pulling the villagers, very smart. Reuters trying to find that Daimyo, and they do. Windmen are being called here, forcing the Hussars to retreat a bit. Another batch of Nagys. However, there are 4 more veteran Hussars joining the field here. And LordRaphael now pulling his Nagys as they weren't doing anything during that fight there. Could have sent them the raid. I thought that's what his plan was going to be, but LordRaphael thinking that maybe he just needs them for this fight as he doesn't want to just completely die here. And now Pérez's villagers are moving out towards this hunt. And LordRaphael actually has a shrine placed, but that's actually really strange because neither of his next lords are near that. Ecos are looking pretty even here. We have cavalry combat in for Pérez. And we have Wave the Bow for LordRaphael, so both players sending their military upgrades card-wise. And we do have a lot of disciplined Ashies moving across the map just as these walls are getting placed, but it looks like they're going to be placed a little too late for Pérez here, and this villager is going to go down as soon as LordRaphael reacts here. There he goes. But Pérez is able to see that raid in anticipation and move back all of these villagers. So losing only 1 villager instead of losing many more that he would have potentially lost if he didn't see that big group of Ashies first. And this is a lot of Nagys, and we have upgraded Nagys, upgraded Yumis, upgraded Ashies. So very well mixed army from LordRaphael here. Pérez pretty well mixed army himself here. Skirmishers, veteran hussars, and we have Reuters with the cavalry combat card. Infantry combat now coming in for Pérez. Nagy Riders hit points. So both players just sending cards to improve their military here. Very nice, just beefing up their military units. And we do have an Ashy raid over here from LordRaphael. Looks like he did kill 1 villager or 2 villagers there actually. However, all 5 or 6 of these Ashies are going to go down. So it looked like it was probably a trade of like 6 Ashy for 2 villagers there, I believe. Looks like neither player really wants to push in here. They're both beefing up their army here. And a couple Halbs out now for Pérez. He's going to use these veteran Halbs to start sieging down these shrines so he can get access to these hunts and just, of course, be able to kill the shrines, take that away from LordRaphael. Man, that is a lot of naggy there. Looks like no artillery foundation, no cannons in the works for Pérez. Big group of Ashes are crossing the map here, and they may find these Halbs. LordRaphael knew that the Halbs were out going to siege these shrines and knew these would be the next targets. So LordRaphael very smartly responding by sending some Ashes to pick off any of those Halbs. LordRaphael looking to push in here. Pérez, both players kind of back and forth. We do have a cliff here, so it's going to make a bit difficult for players to begin the attack / retreat. Here we go. Nagys are now in full attack. Raiders are in pretty good position, but there are lots of Nagys here. Skirmishers trying to get some shots off, but Raiders doing a pretty good job picking away at the Nagys, but there are a lot of Nagys, and they have a lot of hit points, so they are not falling quickly. And yeah, Pérez now trying to hit and run, but these Nagys will just take so long to fall. The Raiders not able to really kill them quick enough. The Nagy count is now starting to dwindle down, though, however. Some raiding Ashes are here, though, and another group of Nagys. The Raider count's starting to run really low for Pérez. And these Nagys look beefy guys at 495 hit points. Pérez doing a pretty good job hitting and running here. Some villagers are called out, though, here, however, for Pérez, and even more Nagys coming for LordRaphael here. Batch of 5 Hussars getting on top of the Yumis. Going to have LordRaphael respond by pulling his Nagys into the fight. Skirmishers trying to get around the market to get some shots off, but Pérez seeing he has no anti-cav left, and he calls it GG. Well played by both players. Game 1 is going to LordRaphael here. Yeah, I think if Pérez didn't try for an H3, if he just played it out H2 and just massed like Skirm Huss, I think it would have been good, because I feel like that really counters, Musk Huss, and I think people underestimate Dutch's H2. However, Pérez did try to age up there without like trading posts and struggled to get things rolling. Alright, that is it for Game 1. We're going to get into Game 2 here right away. Alright, and the map for Game 2 is going to be Baja, California. And we're going to go ahead and spin that wheel to see what civilization LordRaphael gets in Game 2 here. Alright, LordRaphael gets Ottoman in Game 2 on Baja, California. And let's see what civilization Pérez ends up with here in Game 2. Pérez gets China. Alright, so we're going to see China versus Ottoman on Baja, California. I'm going to take a quick peek at Pérez's ELO, see if he's been playing as China at all recently. He does play as quite a lot of civs. I'm scrolling through, and currently, oh yeah, he does have some China. Yeah, it looks like he does play China a little bit here and there at the very least. LordRaphael, very large civ pool, as I said. I think he can play any civ really. So yeah, we are going to get into game 2 here in just a second. Pérez making sure to take a look at his decks here. Oop. I hate that. Alright, everybody, we are hopping into game 2 here. This is a best of 3, round of 16, LordRaphael versus Pérez. We are playing on Baja, California here. LordRaphael playing as the Ottomans and Pérez playing as the Chinese. LordRaphael is currently up 1-0 in this best of 3, so this is do or die for Pérez. Has to win this game to survive and go to a game 3. LordRaphael looking to close this series out. Interesting matchup here. I can't say I'm super familiar with this. I feel like you get so many nutty matchups with this format tournament with the random civs. It's very cool. You see a lot of matchups that you don't typically see. And it's interesting to think about this one. I feel like I haven't seen it in a while. So Ottoman, they have a couple options here. They could do just a full-out H2 rush. They could do like double racks, Jan rush. They could, grab the TPs and advance to H3, or they could do like A boost Jan. So Ottoman, definitely some options. China, their goal is always to try to get up to H3 for the most part. If they do see that they're getting rushed pretty heavily, then they could hang out in H2 and just work on defending the rush. Is Ottoman, they don't have the best eco. So Pérez building the middle trading post here, and LordRaphael taking the top one here. And Pérez does have his disciple already attacking LordRaphael's explorer here. Pérez trying to do a pull trick there. I think it was a little bit of opposite pull. Unfortunately happens sometimes. He does have LordRaphael's explorer snared there, and now just sending the disciple away, it looks like. So Pérez is going to try to do as much damage as he can to the explorer. Meanwhile, Pérez, what is he going for actually? I wonder if he not just now throwing down his village. Looks like it took him some time. I'm not sure. Does he have villagers in queue? He does have a villager in queue, and he does already. Yeah, I don't believe he got housed. I was just keeping a close eye on that. Oh no, right now he is housed. Yeah, right now he's at 10 out of 10 population. So a little bit of idle TC, unfortunately, as this village is coming down a little bit late. But now he queues up a couple villagers. LordRaphael escaping the snare there. His explorer is near half health, however. We do have a 75 coin treasure. And Pérez doesn't want to overstay his welcome here, doesn't want to get hit by TC fire. So LordRaphael already on his way up to age 2. As you guys know, Ottoman always with very quick age up. And Pérez is going to be, it's kind of so funny to look at the age up differences. LordRaphael clicked up to advance to age 2, and Pérez was at like 200 food. Like still very far away from aging. So we'll have to see what LordRaphael's plan is here. Now putting a lot of villagers on wood, and it looks like he is moving his explorer to the other trading post. So it looks like LordRaphael is going to be going for the 2 trading posts, and he does find a 60 wood treasure, so that's very nice. However, Pérez is getting 95 wood treasure himself, so that's a nice pickup. And then there's also the 75 coin treasure. Pérez still not aging, still not even that close to aging, only 600 food, and LordRaphael more than halfway up to age 2. And of course there is sea on this map with quite a bit of fish on both sides, so water is always an option, but it doesn't look like either player is planning that at the moment at least. And Pérez now just chopping down his wonder. He does place it very defensively, basically as close to his town center as possible, so I do like that positioning from Pérez. You just always have to keep the Ottoman, you always have to respect the Ottoman rush. You don't want to build your wonder too far out, because if you are getting rushed, you don't want that wonder to just go down for free, basically. You gotta keep a close eye on that. We do have 2 villagers on this gold mine here, looking like they may want to throw down some forward military buildings. And LordRaphael does start a barracks, and looks like Pérez scouts this right away. So that's going to be nice for Pérez. He's going to immediately know what's going on. He sees the 2 trading posts and now a barracks. So it looks like LordRaphael may be planning to drop a barracks and perhaps train some Jans just to siege down this trading post, so that perhaps LordRaphael can take the 3rd trading post and get a 3 TP stagecoach going. And Pérez, what is Pérez doing here actually? I hope this wasn't a mistake, or what is going on from, oh, and look, I don't know. What is he doing with this villager way out here? I guess this villager was meant for herding? I don't know. It looks like there's a lot of walking time for this villager, so I think that was a bit of a misclick from Pérez. Maybe sending this villager out to herd, but definitely not taking the most optimal path there. And Pérez is now finally up to age 2. LordRaphael is also throwing down a stable here. He does have his church built, and LordRaphael did ship 700 wood. Now moving in with the 5 janitors to siege down this trading post. And Pérez is responding by building a village here. So it looks like LordRaphael has age 2 play on the agenda. I think he wants to secure the 3 TPs and just get that stagecoach rolling in while still making units in age 2 and being a little bit aggressive. We do have a disciple army here from Pérez, and 8 choke canoe being shipped for Pérez here. So another batch of Jans trained, however, and I don't think Pérez did not see the stable earlier, of course, as the stable was, Pérez did see the barracks right away, but he did not see the stable. So he does have some disciples, but if these disciples start getting hit by these Jans, Pérez is not going to be expecting a Hussar pop. Let's take a look at units in queue. We do have 1 Hussar in queue, and there is stagecoach researched, and that definitely would have been LordRaphael researching that, as this trading post is just nearly down, and I think LordRaphael is going to try to siege it down before he gets to the last pass. Chuknu are getting some nice hits, picking off nearly 2 janitors. However, LordRaphael does finish it down and prevents this pass from going for Pérez. And there are 5 Hussars out for LordRaphael, and this is LordRaphael's time to push here. And it looks like Pérez may be overstaying his welcome here, not aware of the 5 Hussars, now seeing them, trying to get the disciples on them and get these Chukanu out of here. The disciples going down very quickly, and China Explorer getting trapped here. The bowmen do escape for Pérez. Minutemen being called here, and quite funky Minutemen call as they're kind of split. Maybe a bit early for the Minutemen, but just kind of reactive call, I suppose. Not using the Minutemen quite yet, really. LordRaphael is now sieging down this trading post, and Pérez is about to click up to the next age. He does have resources for H3. So Pérez is not going to build this wonder. 5 Janissaries ship for LordRaphael, now pulling in the sentries. And, oh, there's a nice little batch from the Summer Palace. The village does go down for Pérez. Pérez is on his way to H3. He is housed here. Only 2 Hussars left. Oh, lots of exposed villagers here. 1 villager does go down. Pérez gonna have to, oh, and more reinforcing Hussars here, which is huge for LordRaphael. Pérez forced to pull all of his villagers here. Good start to the fight for Pérez, but it's just not going to be enough, it looks like. And now the archers getting caught out by the Hussars, and these 4 or 5 villagers getting caught, and Pérez sees it. So there's the GG. The 2-0 victory is going to LordRaphael. Pérez was going to be H3 shortly, but just too much Ottoman pressure here. And behind this, LordRaphael with the 3 TP stagecoach. So that is it for this series. LordRaphael takes this best of 3, 2-0.